This is Whampoa Station. Whampoa is the western terminus of the Kwun Tong line of the MTR in Hong Kong. It is located in Hong Kong, Kowloon City District within the developed area of Whampoa Garden, immediately adjacent to the stem of the Whampoa. A symbol of identity for the area and its history. The station was named after Whampoa Garden, which was built on the former site of Whampoa Dockyard. Whampoa Station was constructed under the 856 million Hong Kong dollars Kwun Tong Line Extension Contract 1002, which was awarded in 2011 to a joint venture comprising Hong Kong contractors TransWA and Hip Hing Construction. This contract covered both the station, including Whampoa and Ho Man Tin. What the hell is a bus driving through here? As well as the overrun tunnel beyond it. The two station concourses were constructed using the cut and cover method. The two stations including Ho Man Tin and Whampoa Station for the extension. The two station concourses were constructed using the cut and cover method, while the platform tunnel in between was built using the drill and split method. The use of tunnel boring machines was not preferred due to the lack of staging space in the densely built-up area, while drill and blast was not used at Whampoa Station in response to local concerns regarding safety and noise. The station was originally due to open in 2015, but due to delays during the construction of the underground portion, it opened on October 23, 2016. The station consists of a platform tunnel between two separate concourses and is mainly underground, except for the entrances and ventilation shafts. The western concourse is located at the junction of Hong Ham Road and Tak Man Street, while the eastern concourse is located along Tak On Street and is crossed by Shung King and Tak Ting Streets. As with the stations at Po Lam and Disneyland Resort, this is a terminal station with a single side platform. Due to the fact that the single track at Whampoa cannot accommodate all Kwun Tong Line trains during weekday peak hours and weekends full-day services, half of the Kwun Tong Line trains terminate at Ho Man Tin Station. As a result, trains serve Whampoa at 4-minute intervals during peak, twice as long as the other stations during peak. The station is adjacent to Whampoa Garden bus terminus. It is also a short walk from the Hong Ham Ferry Pier. Alright, here we are at Whampoa Station. So familiar with this area. I have been living here, not exactly here, but 10-minute walk away from my home. I've been walking and coming to this area for over around 18 years. Yes, this is my area. I'm so familiar with this area. I can literally tell you where everything is. But of course, I actually don't know where the blocks are for all of these. Whampoa Gardens, which Whampoa Gardens is here, is here, is here, is there, and is there, and is there, and is there, and is also actually where across my home is. There are like 10 plus blocks for Whampoa Gardens spread out in the entire Hong Ham and Whampoa district. So here we are at Tak On Street, and here's Shung King Street, and here's Tak Ting Street, which is all the streets as mentioned for the exits over this side on the eastern concourse, which we have exit C and exit D. So here's the Whampoa, which is a ship, which is put here, which is now already renovated and not a ship anymore. Inside is actually with the Eon shopping mall and supermarket, and also up top is actually restaurants, which I've been to one time. And also at the bottom floor is actually a swimming pool and also a community facility. Over here we have a cinema and also have Whampoa. This is actually a kind of like a food court mall with tons of food options, and also the top floor is also a community facility. Here's the main street at Tak On Street right there, and this is Tak Man Street right here with the intersection. And walking that way is the Hong Ham Ferry Pier, which you can see that school right back there. This school with some of the pink color. That is a school Right next to that school is Hong Kong Ferry Pier, which there are ferries going across to North Point every 30 minutes. Which that's why I never uses that thing, because it's so far away. It's not close to my home at all. It's like a 15-minute walk just to go over there. It's take like a 30-minute ride across. It's so slow. Might as well just go to Cross Harbour Tunnel and take 106 for me if I go to North Point. So here's this area. Let's go to the bus interchange now. I'm talking way too much because I'm so familiar with this area. Let's walk this way. And after that, we're going to go through the exits. Now, Whampoa Station is one of the weirdest stations on the Kwun Tong line because, first things first, it is a single track platform. Yes. Now, Po Lam is a single track platform on the Kwun Tong line, but Po Lam actually has the splits of the tracks right after it leaves the station. So basically, the trains actually uses two different tracks to enter the stations. So basically, trains entered Po Lam station on track A. When it leaves, it uses track B to immediately leave. But for Whampoa, no, it is different. Whampoa is also a single track platform, but the trains uses the same track to go in and out of the station until it hits where Ho Man Tin Station is. In front of Ho Man Tin Station, there is a crossover for the trains to separate the tracks. So that's why, due to that, during rush hours, trains cannot run to Whampoa for every single train because during rush, it is 2 minutes per train for the entire line. 2 minutes is too tight for the trains to turn back from Whampoa and back to Ho Man Tin in a row. So that's why they have to run Ho Man Tin trains during peak. So hence, Whampoa get a 4-minute frequency during peak, while the entire other sections of the line gets 2 minutes for the entire other line, except Whampoa gets 4-minute frequency. While off-peak is 3 minutes per train for the entire line, but 3 minutes is enough for trains to run to Whampoa and return to Ho Man Tin to split off the tracks. So that's why during off-peak, 3 minutes per train, everything Whampoa. While during peak, 2 minutes per train, 1 to Ho Man Tin, 1 to Whampoa. So that's why Whampoa is one of the weirdest stations on the network, with frequency being higher off-peak than during peak. Yes, that's like bullshit talk, but it is happening for this. So here's the bus terminus. We have 12A going to Cheung Sha Wan Hoi Tat Estate via To Kwa Wan and Kowloon City. Very long route. Pretty cheap though, like $5.60 to go to where Nam Chung Station is. This thing has changed the terminus for so many times. 30X to Chuen Wan Orway Gardens. Very long route again. And my local route that sometimes I'm lazy to not walk back, I would take the 8A to go back to Hong Ham that I don't want to walk, because this thing is a circular route, pretty cheap. 8A to Tsim Sha Tsui Circular. We also have 8P, which that one starts from Laguna Verde, the housing property right next door to us. And then it will also go to Tsim Sha Tsui Circular, but 8P is the express, while 8A is the local route going via Hong Ham. 8P doesn't go via Hong Ham, 8P just goes straight after this to Tsim Sha Tsui. Which, it meant to actually stops here for the 8P, but because 8A is usually just laying over at the lane, so that's why 8P would usually just drive on the outside and stop literally where the entrance is, over there. Stop in the middle of the road. There goes the 8A. Now 8A does use single deckers because it's a pretty crappy circular route, but they of course will use double deck as well. There's one of the weirder electric buses over there. And on this side is the routes that actually doesn't terminate. We have the Cross Harbour Route 115, which is terrible frequency. And we also have the Rush Hour Special 115P that starts from Laguna Verde for the 115 section. After this, it's just the same. So 115P is just literally the same. It's a one-directional Rush Hour Special in the morning. We have NA20, that's terminates here. That's the overnight one service to the airport. 5D circular route to Telford Gardens. This is the turnback spot for 5D. And we have the all-day service E23 and E23A combination. So this is to Chiwan Shan South direction, which is from the airport. And we have the stand back here to the airport. There that goes. And that's basically all the routes for buses. Not too many. So sometimes I do take 8A, which 8A sucks. Not even joking, 8A sucks. in terms of frequencies. 25 minutes per bus. Absolutely miserable. On this side is the minibuses, which there are two routes. I mean, not two, three routes. And they're all operated by Kelsey Company Limited. We have the 2 and 2A. These goes to Festival Walk, but just goes slightly a different path at Whampoa, but after that's the exact same path. And we have the 26A, which is going to Tsim Sha Tsui, Harbour City, Canton Road, circular route. But that thing is double the price of 8A. Yes, 8A is like $4.80. It might have gone up to like $5 or something. That thing is $8 plus. Absolutely dreadful, terrible. And also mainly uses LPGs. Now I want to say is the routes over here are actually pretty funny because there's actually a really weird and funny story about all of these routes over here. So in the past, before COVID, there is a different company called, I don't remember what that is, just that company, that operates route number 6 and route number 6A. These two goes to Tsim Sha Tsui as well, and also 6X, which is an express. While they also run the 2 and 2A to Festival Walk, the same thing, in Kowloon Tong. But during COVID, that company bankrupt and closed down. Yes, during COVID, the company bankrupt and just closed down. And then route number 6 and route number 6A, route 6X, all three of these going to Tsim Sha Tsui was withdrawn and cancelled because of the company's gone. They also meant to actually withdraw 2 and 2A because of the company, and also because of Kwun Tong Line is literally just helping this section to go to Kowloon Tong. But that thing actually via Kowloon City and To Kwa Wan, so it's a little bit different from the path, and also Shek Kip Mei. So that's why residents around saying that they don't want the 2 and 2A to go. So that's why they actually, the Transport Authority just literally called Kelsey, which is the current operator, that actually runs the nearby Route 26 to go to Laguna Verde, to just temporarily operate route number 2 and number 2A. Yes, temporarily run the route, and it has been temporarily running the route until right now. AP! Oh, unfortunately there's no 8As laying over, so that's why he can actually drive in here. Unfortunately, I cannot show you how they usually actually runs the AP, but there goes the AP driving in. Usually when there's an 8A laying over, it's just gonna drive out here and stop right out where the staff tent is, because there's an 8A blocking the road. But that's the funny story with the minibuses. That's it for the talk there. So they're temporarily running it by Kelsey for 2 and 2A, and then they're just temporarily running it for 4 years. And now Kelsey themselves just bring out a 26A to replace how the good old route number 6A actually goes before COVID. So basically everything is pretty much replaced by Kelsey, which is so funny. Alright, that's it for the bus terminus. I spent way too much time talking about stories. Let's walk back and explore the exits. We have actually one exit on this side, so let's go over here first. Alright, so here's the coast is just down there with a hotel actually right there. Grand Harbourfront Kowloon Hotel, pretty cool. That's a residential area. This one's a residential area, that's a hotel. And we got schools here, don't need to care about them for now. And this is actually the entrance to the minibus terminus, which is just over there. And there's exit D. That is D or D1? D1 or D2? Either or. There's one part of D, and the other part of D is leading into an underground entrance to Eon style supermarket. So I'm not going to go down there because I need to actually walk around this area. So there's one exit for D, and the other one exits inside Eon style supermarket underground. So that's D. Let's come back here for C. Alright, we have came back over here now. There is C right there. That's one of the entrance to C. So that's C, one of the C's. And the other C, same idea for Eon Style. It is connecting underground to this shopping center right here. So this part of the shopping center. Another part is underground on the other floor. So, and also for C, it is an accessible exit with the lift over here, which is always packed. Yes, always packed. This is the lift for exit C. Always completely packed. But here's the problem. Whampoa is a single track platform, and also the concourses are not connected. C and D belongs to the eastern concourse, while A and B are the 30X coming to terminate. While A and B is the other western concourse. These two concourses are not connected underground. So if you exited the wrong way, you have to walk on ground level to go back to the other side, which I'm going to show you exactly how you walk to the other side right now on ground level, which is very straightforward. Just walk along the street. So while we're walking, we can explore and describe some of the nearby areas to you guys. So there he goes. So this is the eastern concourse just back there, and we're going to head up to this side now, closer to Hong Kong, and we'll show you the other exits, which actually on this side you can also see Whampoa Station actually. Yes, you can also see Whampoa Station from this side. Taxi stands right here, tons of them. This is my Whampoa neighborhood. So here is a Treasure World, and on the other side is Fashion World, which for C, one of the C branch exits is connecting with Fashion World underground. So, and the other C is just back there, which you have seen. And I will continue walking up this road to the intersection over here of Hong Kong Road and Tak Man Street, which is where the other exits are on this side, which is the exits that I usually use for Whampoa Station. Although considering Whampoa Station only have Kwun Tong line, and the next station is just going back to Ho Man Tin, which is also one of my locals, so usually I just take Ho Man Tin Station. I don't really actually come over here just to take Kwun Tong line and back over to Ho Man Tin Station, which is pretty much the equal distance to walk from home. Literally, it's like the same amount of time that needed to walk to Ho Man Tin and also walk to Whampoa. 12A coming to terminate on another egg. 12A, there it goes. And a terrible minibus on the number 2. So one problem about the number 2 is Kelsey company. The minibuses for Kelsey really sucks compared with those of the previous company. 115 Cross Harbour, there it goes. This thing sucks. Yes, it sucks so much. 30 minutes per bus for a 115. Absolutely dreadful. Let's cross over to check out the exits. You can see already there's a building right there. That is the A building, and that is B exit. So that's why if you exit wrong side, you have to walk this street to connect back over, which is a little bit annoying. The platform is directly underneath us, and the reason of why they actually cannot build another platform is both sides are shopping center, and both sides shopping center has a car park. So that's why they cannot really build the platform away from this main road, which is only one main road, so they can only do one platform, unfortunately. Let's cross over to where that CSL is, then we'll continue the video. Alright, made it over here. Here's B. Right here. This is actually a upwards escalator and downwards only stairs, and it's really deep. Because they don't need to build that deep for the station, but due to the density of the station around and also how deep the platform is at Ho Man Tin Station, so that's why they actually cannot really raise up this level that much, considering it's such a deep platform for Ho Man Tin. So there's B. This exit is hugely vandalized during the 2019 issue, and A is on the other side. And here's the Tak Man Street intersection. If you just zoom in all the way to the back, if you can see some green structure right there, pointing to the green structure right there, way at the back, that is Ho Man Tin Station. Yes, if you just walk along this whole street, you can get to Ho Man Tin Station without taking the trains. So that's why it's pretty pointless to have this. But the turnback siding is actually just going this way in a little bit for Ho Man Tin turnback sidings for the rush hour trains and also the weekends trains. So that's why right now it's like 3 o'clock, 3:30 around, and I've already spotted off the trains earlier on at 3 minutes per train for off-peak, so easy finish. So never film this station in peak because, first of all, peak load is crazy at Whampoa because everyone's coming back, plus you get less trains, so what's the point? And on the side at Mansell Street, we have exit A. So on this side, and we have the lift, which is right here for the accessibility things, but you don't need to accessible. So, and this exit is actually also named for going over to where Laguna Verde is, Laguna Verde honestly is actually very far away from here, from the Whampoa main center area, but you can see Whampoa, you can see Laguna Verde from here. It's behind the trees. That is Laguna Verde way behind at the back there with the green windows and stuff behind the trees. That is Laguna Verde. Let's enter the station. Okay, going down the first set of escalators of A, which A is pretty good with both escalators. And return and do one more escalator, will be down. So trains and continue going. And yes, it is also double escalator for this. I'll walk the stairs for this one. And made it down. Shops are very limited on both sides, so that's why. Which unfortunately there's only a toilet on the other concourse. There's no toilets on this concourse. There's the lift. So there's some shops, a bank, and there's 2 shops inside there, which is actually a bakery and also a clothing shop. Here's the gates. Let's enter. And we'll head down to the platform. You see the platform is not very deep, but it's just the concourse itself is actually deep. So that's why it makes the platform doesn't feel that deep. But since you enter, it's just the one track on the side. So there's the platform, tracks, platform 1. Only platform for this station. Pretty wide open over here, but that's it. There's no more wide open areas for this whole station, considering the area around is pretty narrow. Looking through. So we have that side's the end. This is actually the end. So the exits are all located at the front and the back of the platform. So there's the front, car number 1. And while we walk over, we can see the some of the drawings of the old Whampoa, which is actually a dockyard in the past. Hence, there's that boat that you have seen earlier on at the start. This is the whole platform, and the other exits are all the way to the back of the platforms. More paintings on this side for the old Hong Ham areas. There it is. History and Imagination, Whampoa by Lam Tong Pang. Let's continue walking. Just gonna walk down the whole platform. Platform is pretty basic like this. Let's just head down to the end. And a Q train arrived while I'm walking over, and we're almost at the end. Another painting over here, which is actually the same thing. It's just a copy on both sides, which is kind of boring. And here's a Q train. You'll see the train clips later on. The turn back time is crazy fast, considering it's just 3 minutes for them to turn back to Whampoa Station. So, you see? Iterated party. We're sending it out. 775776 on the 2 Keng Lang service Q train. So, now the driver just headed out from the cab, and then you might be thinking, then no, the train's already moving, because the driver of the previous train now takes control of this train to go it back. While the driver of this train just got off, we will take the next train. That's how it goes to maintain the speed. And over here is actually the overhead tracks. No trains will drive past this way, except sometimes they might park some of the trains here overnight. And also sometimes when they actually park one extra train down there for extra service during peak. Which is all the way down there. You cannot extend past Whampoa Station, because if you actually extend past Whampoa Station, it's going crossing harbour already. Unless they for real do Kwun Tong line back over to where North Point is, but I doubt. So that's it. Let's head up to the C and D Eastern Concourse to check out what's there. I cannot exit the gates though, so let's just go. So taking the lift up, no one's here. Perfect time to film the station. Oh boy, that's so good. Doing it off peak. And this is the outside. This side's especially low on shops. There's only a bank and also a 7-Eleven on this side, and that's it. Nothing else. So here's the outer concourse. You cannot go to the outer concourse from here. You have to exit the gates or just go back down to the platform. Toilets right there. Customer service center. At least there is a customer service center on both concourse. C right there, D right there. And the lift for C is behind this pillar right back there. And that's it for Whampoa Station walkthrough. Alright, that's it for Whampoa Station. I definitely spent way too much time talking about facts around the area, considering I know so much for this area. But I'm giving Whampoa Station, as my local station, a harsh 3 out of 5. Yes. You guys might be thinking, what? It's pretty good. Not really. Considering about the off-peak and peak frequency thing, it's really weird. That's already kind of unfortunate. That's actually like that. Why the hell off-peak is higher frequency than peak? Unfortunate. Paintings is cool, but why the hell both sides are the exact same thing? But that's okay. Platform is one only platform, and also the exits locations are just unfortunate that they're always at the end of the platforms. Then everyone just crammed on the front car if they want to get the perfect spot, which is really unfortunate. Yep, and the fast turn back time, which is kind of troll. And also the exits are also pretty bad, because the exits, most of them doesn't actually have good accessibility stuff. It's good that it's actually coming over here, but considering it's actually, Sealand just came. And also it's actually really inconvenient, considering actually, I want to say is, if I actually want to take from Hong Kong over here, I have to change trains. Like what? When Hong Kong and Whampoa are technically in the same district, and I need to change trains at Ho Man Tin if I'm actually taking it. Bro, that's why I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 for Whampoa Station. And shops are so limited as well. And you see the turn back time, immediate turn back. And also the shops are so limited in the station, considering it is a terminus station and there's like less than 5 shops. That's why it is a 3 out of 5. Let's spot some trains.
Please stand back from the platform doors.
So for Whampoa Station, it is actually best to film trains off peak, because you actually get trains every 3 minutes. While in peak, you get it every 4 minutes, which is so weird. So we spot 8 trains. I mean, the first one is not really kind of a spot, but we spot a total of 8 trains for this video, because there's only one platform, so we spot one every car. Just like how we did for the Poland video. But Poland is actually having, I won't say worse frequency than Whampoa, but that's C train. Number 1 already. Okay, early on was number 20, I think. 367? And also, I want to say someone randomly just placed their cart right there on the trolley. Like, that can be... Okay, there we go. So I was like, that can be reported. And of course, it's an old lady always. Old lady always like that. They don't care. Like, please take care of your own belongings. Don't care. What's the number? Oh, 367? So, because of the 3-minute frequency, it is immediate turn back at Whampoa Station. Considering it is one track for bi-directional, so that's why it has to be turned back immediately to get back to the splitting part for the next train to come in. So that's why it's immediate turn back. During rush, it's also immediate turn back, because they try to keep the 2-minute frequency up.
Stand back from the platform doors.
It's just in peak, it is 2 minutes per train, just to increase the frequency, to just try to clear people out quickly. But 2 minutes is way too tight for the Whampoa trains to turn back. That's why they have to do one train to Ho Man Tin during peak, because of not enough time to turn the trains back. Hence, ended off during peak, Whampoa gets 4 minutes frequency, while off peak, Whampoa gets 3 minutes frequency, which is the weirdest situation, really. Oh, and also I want to say is the lightings for the station is absolutely perfect. It's not like overly bright or anything. Everything is perfectly focused for train spotting. Hopefully I get Q trains. That's not a C train. bro. No Q trains so far. All C trains. There that goes. Later on we can do a wide angle. Unfortunately on this side of the platform there's no wide angles, but on the other side there will be a wide angle coming up at the end of the platform. So we are getting stared at. I think that's a staff. That's like an undercover staff with a jacket. Jeez, that is scary. 9379 right here. Immediate turn back. It's basically the previous train driver will be picking up this train to go ahead, because they will just take the next one, because just to get the train to turn back as soon as possible. So basically, as soon as the driver enter, set up the system, door closing right away. So yep, there it goes. You can see a little bit, you can hear a little bit, and then immediately we'll be going. So there it goes. This is not even like a terminus station. It literally just turns back right away and just goes back on the full journey. There it goes, on the to Kinglang service. Now, one big unfortunate is that when I'm filming this right now, there's no more M trains, which is really unfortunate, because it feels really cool with an old M train driving into the station, that it feels like new and old combined together, you know? So, but this station is almost 10 years old, so not really, they're 8 years old. It's a huge train, finally. There it goes. 765. Oh, you see the train so empty. Compared with Whampoa, it's like Whampoa in the past is also not that useful because of no Tuen Ma line. Oh boy, terrible stopping spot. Like in the past, without Tuen Ma line for Whampoa, with only Kwun Tong line, also it's pretty empty. The extension is also just mostly for residential stuff. But right now, with Tuen Ma line also open for Whampoa, more and more people come to use Whampoa because of the interchange, which is so much more people use Whampoa than actually Whampoa. You look at the off-peak load right now, so empty. Perfect for spot trains, plus you get more frequency than a rush. Which in rush, you get more people and less trains. Because it's every 2 trains when it comes to Whampoa during peak. While off-peak, it is every train. So, which is so weird. But it's just how it is.
Stand back from the platform doors.
765, this guy. And it's slow as hell door closing. Fortunately, the drivers will keep on coming back over here because they're changing trains, which is really annoying, because whenever I'm filming the train leave, the driver is literally behind me. Yeah, and there he's the driver running over right now. He's literally running. What the hell is with this driver? There he is. And there he is. So that's why you see. The train to Till King Lane is arriving. Please let passengers exit first. Now this station is they played the old Till King Lane arriving announcement. Oh, more C trains. Not yet the wide angle. Wide angle is coming up. You should have seen when we enter the gates. Oh, yeah, we entered the gates at A, so you should have seen the wide open area over there. So that's where we're gonna go. Oh, it's the middle car. Damn, I don't really remember how to calculate these that well. We'll just wait for it to go by later on. Look at how empty this train is. It's literally less than 10 people in this car. Although it's not like completely empty, you can see it's still decent amount of people using it. But unfortunately, it's just the exits are on the both ends. So if you actually exit in the middle, it's completely useless. On this full journey is actually honestly not too long. It's just 2 extra stations that's extended from the original Yamate. It's like less than 40 minutes for this full journey. It's literally less than 40 minutes.
Please stand back from the platform doors.
There it goes. Don't know the number. Later on we see it. I didn't see it, so. Okay, still C trains. Maybe I can get a Q train later on. Now, the retro M train actually went back onto Kwun Tong line to run for the last period, but it is now over. There's no more retro A161, A162. Plus, I'm done with all of the Island Line spotting, so... Which 161 and 162 are originally from Island Line, so... Oh, I didn't check. Well, it is 866 for the middle car. I need to calculate. The train to Till Keng Leng is arriving. Please let passengers exit first. And another C train. Where are the Q trains? Jesus Christ, where are the Q trains? $375, $376. $375, $376. I actually also need to fix my data thing. Damn. Okay, so I'm gonna charge my phone data very soon. Just grab some cards and just charge. Gonna buy it from Circle K though. 375, 376. Going back on the Till Keng Leng service. You see the turn back time so fast because of its limited space at the station. Doesn't even feel like it is a terminal station. It just feels like a middle station, just immediately. Just instead, actually needs to U-turn. It's pretty slow exiting, actually, the station.
The train to Till Keng Leng is arriving. Please let passengers exit.
And the only spot on the platform that can do a wide angle and Q train. Nice. Oh, this looks so cool with this wide angle. Oh, especially when I'm looking with my real eyes right now on the train. Oh, so cool driving it like this. There's a 763, 764. Especially with the Q train too. It looks so brand new and with this station matches perfectly. Oh boy, the Q train stopping spots are getting worse though, definitely. It's really bad. Usually they really stop directly in the middle with no flaws. But right now it's like keep on going forwards a little bit and backwards a little bit and not perfect. I should be going as well. So, on the M train. I really miss M trains actually at this station now. M trains are so cool at this station. And you can hear the motor from the tunnel. It feels so right. Going on the Till Keng Leng service. Should be going soon.
Please stand back from the platform doors.
There it goes. And going that way. There it goes. There's actually there's like 8-car extra for tracks. I might have talked about that in the video, but there it goes. Q train, 759, 760. Someone's not getting off. Okay. Driver's coming up. So, this is their waiting room right here. And then so we wait for the next train to take. So entered, set up the system, door closing. Yep, going. That's how fast it is. Immediate switch drivers and then just go. Now I know why they actually need to slow down, because the crossovers is basically just right there. It's almost arriving, so need to slow down for the crossovers at Whampoa Station. Well, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.